The crazy thing is that there's so much unnecessary stuff that goes on because I mean, it's like just a whole world full of symptoms, but no solution, no cure, no. That's the thing. It's the cure is already there. It's always there. It's you have to cure yourself. I mean, you have to see individually what you are doing and how you have to choose to be better, to be more, to be what an example of what a solution looks like, I guess. Therefore, you can't fighting with fighting because then fighting is still there. So you have to be an example of like what a good what beneficially living looks like. Someone who is beneficial to themselves as well as all others. And I mean having an understanding of the balance, keeping the balance. I mean, keeping the balance, not letting yourself go too far in any direction. Because when you do, it causes others to come up short or feel that they did. It just causes a balance. Everyone is, I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to talk about everyone. It's about me, you, I, and we. Because everyone should do that themselves. Everyone should look at how they can improve themselves. And I mean, question everything about themselves, no matter what, no matter how right they think they are, especially when they think they're right. Ask why that is and how does it benefit you or anyone? How does you being right about something in front of a lot of people benefit you? And how does it benefit them? Where does it lead them? What does it tell them? What does it imply? Like, how can they benefit by following? What happens if the leader isn't there anymore? What is the most, beneficial gift that you could give to someone? Is it not independence and strength and freedom? Instead of keeping people engaged and keeping everyone distracted, why not release people? It's being done to you and you're doing it to others. It's like it's a it's a virus. I mean, it's a behavioral virus. It spreads. People want to spread the bad stuff. And and then they won't even admit that that's what's happening. They'll find a way to justify it themselves. Everyone does it. And they're not even doing it on purpose. They don't even realize it's happening, even while talking about, like, pointing out so many things that they are actually right in pointing out. But it's not benefiting anyone. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, you're right. Or maybe you're not. Maybe I just agree with you and the other person doesn't. So you're not right, but yes, you are right. You're only right based on something to perceive it. Otherwise, you just are. And why not just be, just seek happiness and find happiness and be happiness, regardless of what is happening around you. And I don't mean just ignore everything and walk around like the world we live in is great, but make it your focus to do the most balanced and sincere kindnesses and just energy spreading. Your smile at people, but don't, try to understand, try to see when you start slipping too far, when you get that little rush of all this positive feedback that you're getting. Don't let that overtake you. Don't let that drive you to be the center of attention. Don't let it turn the selflessness into selfishness. And make sure that you're aware of what you're doing. I mean, that's how. Even people that speak of nobody being aware, they themselves are often unaware because they don't even realize that what they're doing isn't helping. And it's not like disappear, it's like forever, but it's about take some time away from all of it. Just do it. Stop being afraid to get rid of it because of what you perceive to have built up. The only thing you've built up is a residue, a crust over yourself. You have buried yourself. You're saturated, you're pickled in stuff that isn't even, it's just what was there. And all you did was arrive, and here's all this stuff. Now pick the ones, the things, the sounds, the items, whatever it is that you like the best, and just use that to define yourself based on others that have chosen the same things. I mean, we see how it's just put there. It's laid out so that we can continue that, so that that is what we do all the time. We sit and we thumb up items and videos and just stuff that other people did. We give them approval, we thumb it down, we disapprove and make sure everyone knows how we feel about it. It's all set up to drive us into a very specific way of functioning around each other, and it's the most ineffective and destructive thing ever. I mean, the whole system is wrong. It's completely wrong. It's like, this is not the only option. This is not just the best. This is like the worst, actually. It's pretty freaking close to the worst, I think. And I mean, it's all of the worst. It's just the whole thing. None of it works. All of it's just, and the thing is that the more we are humans doing, the worse it gets. The only thing that we aren't is human beings. We're never being, we're always doing something. Everyone's just there. It's all wrong. It's the opposite of nature. And this is not, and I don't mean like just, trees and bees and butterflies. I'm talking just nature in general, like nature, the nature of this, the nature of that, by its, how it works. How does it work? Harmony is nature. Humans are not part of it right now. And I believe we can be, and we should be. And everyone is just completely pickled in this stuff to the point where the idea of a world where we can have an actual blend, we can make proper use of technology that is so non-destructive. And I mean our own technology, we don't even know what we're capable of. Except for, some shit that scientists have said. Like, what the hell do they know? If they knew anything, they would be leading us in a different direction. They would be doing research that actually mattered. They would be putting out reports that would be alarming, and they would fight for news spots to make sure this message, like, we just discovered that soda is one of the worst, most dangerous things a human being can drink, and is actually responsible for a 50% decrease in IQ levels to anyone who's consumed more than 1 cup. We're not sure if the damage is permanent. We haven't had time to do research, but we're looking for some willing participants. So if anyone wants to sign up for this, please, if you know anyone, spread this message. We have to understand this. They know all this shit's bad and they don't care. Even the people that use it don't care. They know it. They don't care because they're so just saturated in it. Like literally from a cucumber into a pickle. It's not even the same thing anymore. It's not a vegetable anymore. It's something else. It's not a natural thing. That would never happen in nature. That's what a pickle is, and we're pickled in this shit, and nobody wants to consider everyone's so immersed in this idea that they have to fight for everything. And nobody wants to look at themselves. They don't want to look and see, they don't want to admit their own biases and their own lies that they tell themselves to justify what they're doing, because they don't want to point out, they don't want to identify the real reason, because those are the same things they complain about in other people. So they don't want to be that, not even to themselves in private, because they know it would affect them. You know, and these are things that people don't even consciously know. That's the ego part of them that just lives in the front, who's driving. They're in the driver's seat the whole time. The ego is running everybody. And that is, if there was a devil, that's it. And it's crazy. And I don't know, like nobody ever talks about this stuff. No one ever talks about it. No one ever says, like, hey, why don't we start, like, stop worrying about everybody else and worry about ourselves based on a few fundamental principles that everyone should agree with. If there were only one law, it would be that you make it your intention. Everything you do is from the intention of bringing no harm, no unnecessary harm to anyone. And you are therefore required to stop and think about what exactly that means. What is unnecessary? And before you decide, well, I didn't know, you ask yourself, you find out, because you do not want to be a stupid person that doesn't know why they do what they do. It's crazy, and everybody they don't care. I mean, they glorify stupidity these days, and it's tragic. It is absolutely tragic, and I don't know how to stop it, because I'm just starting to pull myself completely out of it as much as I can and just say no more. I'm not gonna be in it while being like, well, I'm not in it. I'm just like close to it, but I don't really, I'm fighting the good fight. It's like, no, I mean, like, get out of it altogether. And then you see that both sides are afflicted, and they both need to stop and pull away from it. Everyone, individually, one by one, you, me, her, him, they, us, we, I, everyone should just pull away from it completely and just let it go for once. But everyone has too much at stake. They have too many followers. They can't risk losing, which is why the system is set up that way. So it gives you this fake thing to be afraid of losing. And not just that, it causes you to be dependent on it in more than one way. So therefore, you can never get rid of it, because now you need it. And they know that. And nobody will see that, because they will tell themselves that they are supposed to be involved, because they're going to do something about it. But fighting doesn't fix fighting. It just doesn't. And I don't mean go extreme and be like, oh, I'm sorry, come here, let's hug and cry together. I just mean, like, literally be balanced and look at situations the way they, like, look at them and stop being like, just look at what is and realize that what is really important, what isn't, if somebody says something that you don't like, is it worth it? And is it beneficial? Does it bring us closer to a solution of actual harmony and real peace that we can create instead of waiting for someone else to come and do it for us? I wouldn't, if it were up to me to come and do it, I would be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to go in there. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And I am certain that that's true of humans. So there's no way that I would come and try to, it would be a waste of time. I'd be like, they have to figure it out on their own first. That's the only way. I don't go to vile places. I did that once. That would be me if I were the the role of decision making on whether to come back here or not. I would be like, nope. Look at that place. Hell no. Exactly. Literally, hell no, thank you. And nobody wants to do anything about it. They just keep telling them excuses, and it's lying to ourselves that's keeping us in this situation. And I don't mean each other as ourselves. I mean me lying to me, you lying to you, and believing it. Regardless of the fucking blatant fact that nothing is improving, things are only getting worse. And what is happening as a result? What is happening around us while everything is falling apart? Let's see. There's more social media, there's more communication, way more. There's all different types of crazies all over the place. People are being violent. more, everything is just increasing in its negativity levels because everyone is vying for the spotlight for whatever reason, whatever lie they tell themselves. But it's all the ego at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. There's just no fucking solutions, and no one wants to stop and look at themselves. Nobody. And yeah, it fucking sucks, but go and look in the mirror and talk to yourself and say, look, you are not going to kill yourself. You are not going to let this, you will not let yourself be affected by the opinion of people who are unaware of what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing or why. They're just mimicking each other. They're trying to appear a certain way to other people. And I'm not going to let their genuinely unfounded, unoriginal opinions have any effect on me. They can't help it right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to call myself out on stuff instead of calling others out. I'm going to try to understand, even if it's hard for me. I'm going to ask myself and look at simple things like what I have, but my personal experience. I'm going to be honest with myself, and I'm going to say, what would I not want to experience myself? And how can I avoid making anyone else experience that? Anything else? I mean, this is like simple. It's just the most simple questions. These are things that should be taught to children. Teach them to ask questions like that so that they can actively grow into people that are genuinely good, people that actually are capable of creating a harmonious world. And it's like, why is that never fucking talked about? Why is that just never talked about? Nobody, no one, anywhere. And anyone that has any kind of power, they're just like, you gotta go fight. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't be whatever kind of weirdo you want. You fight. And it's like, yeah, thanks. That's fucking great advice, Lady Gaga. It's like, damn. I mean, are they serious? Did they really truly sell their souls and they are under fucking a blood warrant that they cannot break? Otherwise, they'll just be killed right on the spot, and they're afraid. Maybe they didn't know exactly what they were doing. I can't understand why nobody in any kind of position of power is talking about anything that is actually beneficial. I am just blown away by this. It's unbelievable. Like, damn, and I'm just nobody. So, just nobody. I don't know. I just hope that, I don't know. I hope that this, I hope, but I can't say that I'm not. I don't know. This is my message, and this is what I want. This is what I believe. And I don't know who else feels this way. Maybe no one ever thought about it. Maybe that's why no one ever talked about it. And it doesn't matter if somebody comes like, I had the same idea. Don't think that you're special. Trust me, I don't think that I'm fucking special. I think that my intentions are in the right place. And when harmony is the fucking end result and everybody's happy and reasonable and they can think and they know what they can make good decisions that are beneficial by looking at statistics. Statistics are actually meant for a reason so that people can look and say, oh, okay, well, the human population is doing good. That's kind of great because I actually I didn't really want to have kids in this experience. So I don't feel like I should do my part to populate the world or, use my ego, feed my ego and keep my name going. I realize that, this is an experience and this is how I would like it to be. And I don't have to worry about anything. There's no fear. I know how to read body language very well because I understand myself and I understand other humans. Therefore, before they do something offensive, if any of them just for some reason through genetic, something that creeped up after, several generations and they need a little extra guidance, then I would be able to identify their behavior as being unusual so I could properly protect myself and be prepared for any situation instead of just being face down in my phone and completely oblivious to everything at all times. And, then I act like a victim because I wasn't supposed to have to pay attention. This is like a fucking free country, so you can't do that. It's like they can do that. It's up to you. Maybe they're not supposed to, but they fucking can. And it is up to you as an individual to be vigilant and know what is going on around you instead of being theirs, just stewing in their toxic brew. It's fuck all of it. Fuck social media, all of it. I'm like, there is no message more important than this, I believe. This is the most important message I could imagine. Because this is the one thing that we're not doing, and this is clearly the opposite of what we're doing now. So that would indicate strongly that it is the fucking right direction, because where we're going now, I don't know. And then you have religion that says there's nothing you can do about it. These are the end times. I'm like, maybe that was a manual, like, hey, this is what happens if you follow these, if you do these things. And we act like we just can't control it. Well, what are we supposed to just stop ourselves? It's pathetic. I mean, how undeveloped are we as a species? How far behind are we? But it doesn't matter because it just tastes so wonderful. Oh, this food is so good. Oh my God, I love this soda. Alcohol is so wonderful. Drugs are fantastic. Just food and McDonald's and all this just deliciousness and clothes and sex and all this stuff and pleasures and iPads and iPods and phones and smart devices and stupid devices, and just everything is just so fucking fabulous, and boys and girls clothes and girls and boys clothes, and just everyone fighting and hate the president, and he's not my president, and he is my president, and blah blah blah, no guns, and fucking just, oh God, shut the fuck up, please. That's such a sincere plea. Like, just think about it. Just like think about it. I literally feel like hopeless on this, even though I feel confident that this is the proper direction, because it doesn't lead anyone to follow anyone. It just asks them to look at themselves and try. Not just try, but don't stop until you have a breakthrough. And please, for the love of everything, give up sugar and salt. Just take those things out of your diet first and foremost. Just get rid of those. Especially sugar. Just stop it altogether. No soda, no nothing. And no alcohol. But sugar and salt. Just get rid of it completely. Start there. And then you'll I don't know. I mean, you'll feel better. You'll think better. And then you'll start to think more about other things. Get rid of social media. Just get rid of it. Just delete it. I dare you. But you know what? I don't expect much of anything, because nobody wants to step out of it, which is the problem, because they believe it. And that's the thing. You can't be in it and see it. You have to be out of it. You can't see it while you're in it, because when you see it while you're in it, you get out of it. It's just what happens, because you don't tell yourself any more excuses. You don't make any more or you don't tell yourself any more lies, and you don't make excuses. Like, well, I know I don't really like other people. Don't worry about other people. Look at you. Can you delete it? Nope. And then they'll say, well, I'm not going to delete it for her. Any excuse, and it's not for me. I don't even want it to be for me. I don't even want comments. I don't want to talk to anyone about this. I don't, because there's nothing to debate. This is a problem. And I just need this to be really considered, because there is nothing in it. I'm not getting any kind of immediate gain. I probably won't get any benefit out of it, because I don't know if it's even going to happen. The benefit would be, though, that people would be better. People would be friendlier. They would be stronger. They would be able to talk to you and laugh with you without believing that there is some unique connection and wanting to get closer to you above all others, because that would only create division. People should be just as kind to everyone equally, not favoritism. You can have friends, but you can't. People, they get too close with them, and then they sit and they gossip about other people, and they talk shit about other people with their friends, and then they think of that as like a good quality. But it's like, if you're doing it, why wouldn't your friend do it with someone else? Maybe about you. I mean, this is an imbalance. These cliques, the system is set up this way. People are designed, they're like led to follow And they're not encouraged to be strong individuals that want peace and harmony, and more importantly, balance. It's just not it's not even seen, it's not talked about, it's not an option. It's just like, yeah, right, like that's not gonna happen. That would be so boring. It's because everyone's on drugs. Digital drugs, physical drugs, aerial drugs, aerated, I don't know, whatever, of the air, drugs of the air, drugs of the water. We're pickled in it, pickled. And we're like, oh yes, pour more of it on us. It's shameful. It is literally shameful. And I don't know what to do about it, because this is a very unpopular idea. Very unpopular, because it doesn't appear to have any shiny, glimmering, monetary attention, spotlight, flashing lights, camera, selfies, sort of thumbs up, thumbs down, like anything controversial kind of feedback system. It means stepping away from all of that excitement. And that is like, oh God, like what would we even do? That'd be so lame and boring. And I don't know. I just know that we're just not moving in the right direction. We are not focusing on what we actually are. We're not focusing on overcoming and identifying, more importantly, the things that do not lead us towards a society that is effective and like really truly beneficial, that is in harmony with its host environment. And you know, we act like we can't do it because we won't. And that is the saddest thing in the world, because we won't. Because until everyone just takes that moment and takes me completely out of it, or whoever the messenger is, takes them out of it and actually just says, okay, you know, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving some pointers, some advice, trying to like get you to take it and to bring about the end result in whatever way. But these are just some examples that I have, you know, to make you, you know, maybe see where I'm coming from and see what I'm talking about, and realize that this isn't the same shit that you see all over the place where everyone's just trying to fucking get you to, you know, keep coming back for more. This is like, this will work, but I don't know. People have to be willing to do it on their own, and that's the thing. It would be on their own. And it's not, I mean, you don't have to, like, don't look to, just step away from it. Just get rid of it. Get rid of social media. Just get rid of your accounts. Get rid of them and let go. With that, you will be letting go of so much fear. And that would give you strength. Because then you would see, if once you stepped out of it, you would notice how you felt, and you would realize in that moment that you were addicted. You had a drug addiction, a digital drug addiction. It doesn't matter if you weren't like the I look on there every 30 seconds sort of person. It doesn't matter. If you'll feel that. You'll feel the withdrawal from it, and you'll feel like, oh my God, I lost so much. And the best part is when you go through and you delete everything you've posted, everything you commented on, everything you have access to. You just go and delete everything about you, everything you can get your hands on from the internet. Just get rid of it, and then it's gone. And then you're like, well, fuck, now I'm gonna stay away from it. And you go through your YouTube and you delete your entire history, and then you go through the comments that you posted and you look at how many, and then you go and you look at them and you go, wow, and you see who you are. And then you see what you say, and you ask yourself, is this beneficial? Does this benefit anyone? What did my comment, how did that bring about good for everyone who came and saw this? How did this benefit them? What can I say that would bring benefit. What can I say about this? Well, I don't have anything good to say. Well, then maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'll just keep going. Because if it's not a good response, it probably doesn't need to be said. Say something that will, and I mean everyone, all sides. Because if you say something like that, that's harmonious. And I don't mean, just think about what I mean. Just try to, if you reach some conclusion where you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense because blah, 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 then just keep going. Because what I'm saying, trust me, it makes sense. I mean, you have to think bigger. You have to think if everyone in the world kept their negative opinions or their negativity to themselves, and not just kept it to themselves, like brewed and stewed in it, but I mean like sat with it and said, I'm not going to let this out until I figure out what caused it, what it was that I allowed myself to feel, to think. What did I allow to happen for me to feel this way? And trace back to, okay, someone did something. Why did that bother me? And be honest with yourself. Did it bother me because I feel like she's prettier than I am, and um, she said something that made me uncomfortable because she's prettier than me, and I don't want people to notice that. And these are like uncomfortable things, but tell them to yourself and face that. You have to face that. That's why you don't know who you are. That's why you're buried underneath everything, and that's why you're just like everyone else. Or someone else. There's someone else. There's a group of people out there that are like you. Somewhere, most likely. Depends on how involved you are. The more involved you are, the more you'll find others that are just like you, because they're involved too. And they're doing the same thing. They're trying to copy the popular. Or whatever they're around, whatever's popular in their experience. And I would like to make like real goodness popular, true goodness, beneficial goodness, balance, harmony. And balance is the most important thing here, because you can't go too far in either direction. You have to be balanced. But that requires strength. That requires the ability to take things and the ability to not give them out, to stop the negativity when it hits, to not let it go. When it comes to you, you should be its final, put it out of its misery. Just seek to put the negativity out of its misery. And I mean being aware of when you're being like an annoying prick. Be aware of that, and don't patronize and placate people, I guess. Don't give them like this bullshit. Just do whatever it is, and regardless of whatever your ego thinks, just try to figure out what the best solution is for the best possible outcome that will make sure, and then take it within yourself and put it inside your internal incinerator and just get rid of it. Just find a way to put the fire out. Do not feed it. Do not let it brew. Do not let it fester. Do not let it spread. Do not let your ego guide you and let your ego tell you that you're right. Don't listen to it, because it doesn't matter. The only thing that's right is us being in harmony, I guess. But it begins with each and every one of us. We have to find our own harmony inside, our balance. We have to look and not lie to ourselves anymore. We have to be honest with ourselves, and it doesn't matter what we lose. Don't be afraid of losing your friends, because they're not your friends. If they are, they'll come out on the other side too. Otherwise, they're your real oppressors. They're the ones that are keeping you right where you are, because they don't want you to change. Because, if you change, they can't be your friend anymore. Like, didn't you know this was conditional? Like, if you're like weird now, so we can't hang out. I can't, this doesn't fit my model, my image. So yeah, I mean, do you see my point? But everyone's so afraid. They're afraid of losing all the stuff they think they have, whatever it is. And I don't mean just material things, like I said, likes and thumbs up and subscribers and followers and, whatever, tweeters and whatever. All of it. friends. I mean, come on. It's okay. I mean, really. And that's the only way to get out of this. It really is. But good luck with that. The social media and the whole fucking world of advertising has control over everyone, and they like it. All I know is I pray and hope to all that is good that this that what I see for humanity happens. Well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. What I hope for humanity happens. What I most strongly desire. I want to see I want to be proud of us. I want to be, I want to be proud. Like, aren't we awesome? Like, look at us. Look at what we've done. But no, it's the same thing, but more like, wow, look at what we've done, in a very disappointed manner. I don't know. Whatever. It's just my message.